All right, let's settle a debate that every single car owner in India has had at some point. Sun film, window tints. Are they legal or not? You hear one thing from a friend, another thing from a dealer. Well, there's a ton of confusion out there, but we're going to cut through all of it and give you the one final answer.
So, let's just get right to it. This is the big question, isn't it? Are car window tints actually legal in India? I mean, you see them everywhere you look, so they must be okay, right?
The short, simple, and 100% legally correct answer is a flat-out no. Any kind of film that you add to your car's windows after it leaves the factory is illegal. And I mean any film. It really is that straightforward. So you're probably thinking, if the answer is so simple, why is everyone so confused? Well, to understand that, we need to break down exactly how we got to this point. You see, all the confusion boils down to a clash between two different things. On one hand, you have this old motor vehicle rule, the one everyone talks about. And on the other, you have a huge, game-changing Supreme Court judgment from 2012. They seem to say different things, but as you're about to see, one of them completely knocks the other one out. So yeah, let's dive into this legal showdown. This is really the heart of the matter, and once you get this, you'll understand the law perfectly. Okay, so first, let's talk about that famous 70-50 rule. I'm sure you've heard someone mention it. It comes from the Central Motor Vehicles rules, and it's all about something called VLT, or visual light transmission. Basically, it just means the front and back glass has to let 70% of light through, and the side windows have to let 50% through. This is the rule everyone misquotes to say their tints are legal. And this is the most crucial part that everyone misses. After the Supreme Court stepped in, that 70-50 rule no longer applies to you, the car owner putting on a film. Nope, it's now a rule for the car and glass manufacturers. It's their job to make sure the glass itself meets that standard right out of the factory. And here's why. This is the hammer. Back in 2012, the Supreme Court of India banned the use of black films. But look closer. The most important words in that entire judgment are right there, or any other material. See? The court didn't just ban dark tints. They banned the act of sticking anything at all on your car's glass, all for public safety reasons. Now, just when you think, okay, case closed, some recent news from 2024 has stirred things up all over again, especially down south. You might have seen some headlines about this, so let's clear up the confusion right now. Here's how the law works in India. Think of it like a hierarchy. In 2012, the Supreme Court, the highest court in the country, issued a nationwide ban. That applies to everyone, everywhere. Then in 2024, the High Court in Kerala made a ruling that seemed to allow some films. But here's the thing you have to remember. A local high court cannot, ever, overrule a nationwide Supreme Court order. So the bottom line is this. No matter what you hear about any local court rulings, that 2012 Supreme Court ban is still the law of the land. Period. For pretty much everyone watching this, that 2012 judgment is the only thing that matters.
Okay, enough with the legal history. What does this actually mean for you if you're driving around with sun film on your car? Let's talk about the real-world consequences.
First things first, the money. Before 2019, getting caught meant a tiny fine, maybe 100 rupees. It was nothing. But now, after the law changed, that first-time fine can go all the way up to 5,000 rupees. That's a massive difference. And it's not just about the fine. Picture this, you get pulled over, they check your windows, they write you that hefty ticket, and then they make you peel the film off right there on the side of the road. The Supreme Court gave police the explicit power to do this. So you pay the fine and you lose your film. But honestly, forget the fine. Forget the hassle of peeling off the film. The single biggest risk, the one that could be financially catastrophic, is your insurance. If you get into an accident, your insurance company can legally deny your entire claim. Why? Because you made an illegal modification to your vehicle. This is the hidden risk nobody ever talks about, and it's by far the most serious one. Okay, so if films are completely out of the question, what are you supposed to do to survive the insane Indian heat? Well, don't worry, there are a few perfectly safe and, more importantly, perfectly legal alternatives. You've basically got two great 100% legal options. First, you can use those removable window shades or even curtains. They're totally fine when you're parked, but you should probably check your local traffic rules about using them while the car's moving. The absolute best option, though, is to get a car that comes with factory-fitted UV cut or solar glass.
Since the tint is part of the glass itself, it's completely legal. Now, what about those clear UV films, the ones that block heat but aren't actually dark? Well, this is a huge legal gray area. And the problem goes right back to that Supreme Court ruling. Remember, they banned any other material. A clear film is still a material you're sticking on the glass. So even though it doesn't block your vision, it's technically illegal. Whether you get fined for it or not is pretty much up to the mood of the officer who pulls you over. It's a gamble.
So at the end of the day, it really all boils down to this, doesn't it? A 1,000-rupee film that gives you a little relief from the sun, or a potentially million-rupee insurance claim getting rejected when you need it most. When you put it like that, is the choice really that hard? And that, right there, is the final word on car tints in India.